Hello everyone. Today's question is called Sum and Difference Algebra, brought to you by Martin Tutorials. As today's question is relatively simple, I plan to upload it to both my YouTubes, Variety and Fun Math and Martin Tutorials. And I'm about to read the question, but before I start, I just want to warn you, I plan to do this question in a very slow, careful method for people who've never done much math or don't know much about algebra. If you've done a lot of algebra and you remember all your high school math, or you're in high school but know algebra very well, you might find this a little bit boring or long-winded because I'm explaining every term very carefully. And of course, I won't be offended if you're bored. And this is specifically for people who really know very little math. So I do plan to explain it slowly. So the question is, find two numbers whose sum is 75 and whose difference is 13. And I'm going to rephrase that question or paraphrase it. Find two numbers which add up to 75 and subtracting one from the other is 13. That's just two ways of saying the same thing. Okay, so that's the question. These two sentences I'm going to rewrite as an algebra equation. Okay, the numbers that add up to 75 and subtract to 13. I'm going to call the letters X and Y because I don't know what they are. We're told the numbers are 75. Well, of course we cannot write those numbers in because we don't know what they are. But if we call them X and Y, X plus Y equals 75. And the sentence subtracting one from the other, 13, to rewrite as an equation is X minus Y equals 13. Okay, so that's our two equations. And what I'm going to do now, it seems like a strange thing, I'm going to add the two equations. If left equals right and left equals right, left plus left equals right plus right. This is it logically. If we have two buildings in the city, these two buildings are the same height and these two are the same height, surely left plus left equals right plus right. Or if I use numbers, if that one's 40 feet tall and that one's 20 feet tall, and same with on the right, 40 feet and 20 feet, surely 40 plus 20 equals 40 plus 20. Same principle. Or another way to think of it is a balancing scale. The two sides are equal. If I add the same amount to each side, it will still balance. If the two sides are equal, I add something to one side and something else to the other, it will tip over. Okay? So here's like a balancing scale. Left equals right, left equals right, left plus left equals right plus right. If we add the two left equations, x plus x equals 2x, y minus y disappears, it's 0y, and 75 plus 13 is 88. And I always say with algebra, every step should be true and should be helpful. This is true. I've just explained that you can add the left and add the right. And the reason why it's helpful is by eliminating the y's, we're one step closer to solving one of the variables, and that's the x. Now we have 2x equals 88. We have a balancing scale, left equals right. Once again, I want to do something that's true and helpful. There's an equal sign. To get rid of this x, I just want to have x so I can solve for it. I can divide by 2. But here's our balancing scale. If we're dividing this by 2, what must we do to the other side? Divide by 2. So if left and right are equal, left divided by 2 equals right divided by 2. And that's true, and it's helpful because now we just have x here. 88 divided by 2 is 44. 2x divided by 2 is x. X equals 44. Now that we know x is 44, we can substitute that 44 into any of these equations to solve for y. So I can take, for example, that x plus y 75 and substitute that 44 in for the x. Let's say 44 plus y 75. And what do we notice? Another balancing scale. If left is equal to right, we have to do the same thing to each side to keep it equal. I'm removing this 44. The left has just gone down by 44. So before the scale tips over, what must we do? The right side has to be reduced by the same amount to keep that equal sign true. Left equation's down by 44, right equation's down by 44. So y equals 31. So we've solved x is 44 and y is 31. We've solved the question. Now we just want to check. We're told at the very beginning that x plus y equals 75. 44 plus 31 indeed is 75. We're told x minus y equals 13. Indeed, 44 minus 31 is 13. So there is our answers to the question. 44 and 31 are our two numbers. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to talk to you all soon.